Exclusive tonight, modern medicine is a luxury that many of us take for granted. However, in the past, some remedies seem more like something out of a horror movie. I'm Waverly Monroe.
And I'm Erin Krause. Coming up, a new exhibit at the Durham shows the people of today the scary medical treatments of the past. These stories and more right here on the Omaha News.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
The Durham Museum is home to many different connections to the past, but it is also home to some great opportunity for those looking for a career as a curator. Next up, Matt Barrows introduces us to a UNO student whose goals are just that.
Modern medical innovation has dramatically increased our standard of living.
It makes me really grateful that I'm alive right now and not 150 years ago.
But around Omaha's founding, back in the mid-1800s, doctors were limited to rudimentary interventions.
A lot of the remedies were just much more painful than the actual disease.
Remedies like cough expectorants and bloodletting. So it made sense when UNO student and Durham Museum intern Marcia Bennett named her exhibit, This May Hurt a Bit. Bennett is one of a handful of local students from
Creighton, UNO, Midland, Bellevue,
who are given the opportunity to create their display. But according to museum curator Carrie Meyer, not just any intern gets such a chance. It's part of the advanced stage internship program.
that is typically a third semester intern who's been with us. That would be their third semester, the third and final. So it'd be kind of a capstone project for them.
Interns are given a lot of freedom to create their own display. However, the materials must exclusively come from Durham's Byron Reed collection. Bennett says that's okay because
Byron Reed was the classiest hoarder that you could possibly imagine, and he kept everything, and all of it's fascinating. So it's just a matter of digging through files and finding something interesting.
Ms. Bennett was not only inspired to bring Omaha history to life through this exhibit, but she's also recently started her own podcast.
Paula is the other intern. We have all this information that we learned over our semesters here. We thought, well, it's a waste to just not do anything with it.
For the Omaha News, I'm Matt Barrows.
This May Hurt a Bit will be on display until March 20th. For more information on the exhibit or the Durham Museum, go to durhammuseum.org.
The news about the Zika virus has traveled across the world as it continues to spread across South America. The news has many people worrying and wondering how the virus spreads, and here's what scientists know. Zika spreads mostly through contact with mosquitoes, those of which aren't native to North America. It can also spread through semen, which is why health officials advise condoms to battle the virus. It can also spread through blood contact. However, scientists say saliva, urine, and air are unlikely culprits. According to MobyHealthNews.com, 1 out of 5 Americans owns a wearable fitness tracker. Ashley Chisholm shows us a new sleep study that shows where these fit bands come in handy.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is conducting a new sleep study with the use of fitness trackers. Alyssa Keel, a student at UNO, is the primary researcher for the study. She says sleep plays an important role when it comes to health.
Sleep is very important in the same way that hydration is important. Lack of sleep can lead to poor memory function, errors driving.
Participants like Shane Wareheim are wearing fitness bands for 3 days and are documenting their sleep by journaling.
Everything is explained in here, so I'll need your signature.
Wareheim encourages students to participate and says you'll learn more than just how you sleep.
It's not just a one-way street where you're helping the researcher. You generally get something in return. Oftentimes more than just an incentive. You learn stuff about yourself, which can help out your health in general.
Fitbands not only track your personal information, such as how many steps you take and how many times you woke up at night, but
how accurate are these Fitbands?
The Fitbit is actually doing pretty well. It has I think the top 2 at the moment are the Fitbit Charge HR and the Garmin VivoSmart.
Although data has been collected, more participants are needed to verify the accuracy of wearable fitness trackers. For the Omaha News, I'm Ashley Chisholm.
The sleep study is going on now until March. If you would like to participate, email akil@unomaha.edu.
Still to come, retirement may seem far away, but for some, how early is too early to start planning? Metro libraries are stepping in to help educate and kickstart retirement planning.
Plus, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. How much are those in relationships willing to spend on their significant other? We'll talk money coming up next. You're watching the Omaha News.
Create, innovate, discover. Coneco UNO Library, where scholar meets creative. Located in downtown Omaha, Coneco Library is designed to bridge education and creation. For students and community members alike, both loud in expression and quiet in nature, encouraging forward thinkers to collaborate in a beautiful space of creative scholarly consciousness. Coneco UNO Library, open space for your mind where momentum is accomplished.
I knew as a music teacher that there were festivals for piano students and that type of thing going up, but there was no real public recognition of children's achievements in music until they got to be in high school.
I was embarrassed because I was in middle school, but it was interesting because I didn't think I was good at that point because, you know, you're middle school, you're just, you could be best in the orchestra, but you're not sure.
I just remember the joy and the giddiness that these students had. They loved coming to the station and having a tour of the station, and it really meant a lot to them to actually have an interview at this radio station, and they were all so excited and so passionate about music.
When I became a classical kid, I got to go to the Gilsha Hum concert at the Jazz and Art Museum, and that concert completely changed my life. Being a classical kid really changed the thought of, could I do music professionally? It was really nice winning something like that. It was pretty good.
The classical kids idea was one that stuck because KVNO is all about classical music. It was perfect.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back. Retirement may seem far away for some, but experts say you can never be too early to learn what you may need to know. Reporter Jamie Schmitz joins us live from the Milton Abrams Library to explain how Metro libraries are helping people prepare for life after work.
There are 12 public libraries offered to more than 700,000 people, but 5 of those libraries are taking the initiative to help people when it comes to certain aspects about retirement that they may not be prepared for.
It's never too soon to start planning for.
Omaha Public Library offers more to the Metro than just books. Sequent Planning has teamed up with the Omaha Public Library to offer a series of classes on retirement. Emily Getzman believes these different classes can bring awareness to all the different things that you need to know about retirement.
Just talking about the healthcare planning that goes into life after work is complicated. You don't necessarily know all the different parts of Medicare and what they mean to you.
Whether you are retired, you plan to retire soon, or you just want to get a head start on the planning, these classes can be very beneficial to people of all ages. Classes are free and open to the public and are at many different locations around the Metro. Financial experts teach the classes that range from defining retirement goals, understanding Medicare, and planning for financial security.
It's really for those people who are kind of on the cusp of retirement and making those core decisions around health care, around Social Security, around how to get their estate in order for the second half of life.
Milton Abrams Library is just one of the locations offering these classes. The long-term planning portion of the classes starts tonight at 6:30, and classes do fill up fast, so you're asked to register early before the classes even start at omahalibrary.org. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jamie. The Douglas County Health Department recently released a list of restaurants operating without a permit. Upon its release, there were 165 businesses on the verge of being closed. Now that list is down to just 77. Each day operating without a permit carries a possibility of a possible penalty fine, jail time, or both. Make sure to tune in to the Omaha News next week for an update on this story. Money. Everyone spends it, and with Valentine's Day coming up, the Metro seems to be spending a little bit more of it. Starting in around the 1st of February, couples across the Metro put in their orders for that special someone in preparations for Valentine's Day. In order for things to go off without a hitch, 8-year Valentine's Day veteran and Edible Arrangements owner Allie Henricks starts crunching numbers early.
We start preparing the day after Christmas. It's a really, really long process, so we start ordering, we start planning.
And just up the street, Terrell's Floral Garden owner Paula Benny says her company is already making bouquet deliveries for Valentine's Day.
Women love to get flowers at work, so just, something to show off and be proud of.
And Terrell's Floral Shop has already ordered over 500 red roses, though both owners state that the actual Valentine's Day is not their biggest concern. Since Valentine's Day falls on a Sunday this year, both owners predict that their busiest day will be on Friday. And according to CNN, the 2015 National Valentine's Day spending average was $165.
Our average here in Edible Arrangements is about $120.
Benny says her bouquet prices average anywhere from $35 to $150.
Arrangements that you would say, just make me a pretty mixed bouquet, something bright and cheery and festive.
With the most common being very traditional.
The typical dozen roses.
Terrell's Floral Garden has over 150 orders scheduled for delivery on Friday. And Edible Arrangements says the bulk of their business will come from walk-ins to its store. Coming up after the break, if you have ever taken Farnham Street during morning or evening rush hour, you know traffic can be a little dicey. How the Farnham neighborhood is fighting to make traffic in the area safer.
Plus, the city loves to see the redevelopment of historic metro areas. But what effect does it have on those residents in those neighborhoods? We'll take a look coming up next on the Omaha News.
Just recently, MAV Radio has won several awards, both from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association as well as the Broadcast Education Association. And I think it just is proof that our students are doing work that is equivalent, if not surpassing, other students around the nation. So I'm really proud of where we've come, and I can't wait to see where we're going.
Watch ICU Learning English on the Knowledge Network.
A little bit about how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back. With the increased awareness for safety in Omaha neighborhoods, members of the Dundee Neighborhood Association are left wondering why the problems with Farnham's rush hour change to one-way are not being resolved. Avery Wink brings you the story.
Despite voicing their concerns over the current state of Farnham Street, residents of the area have seen little movement toward a solution. City Councilman Chris Jerem, who is responsible for making Farnham two-way from the Blackstone district to downtown, says that he shares the neighborhood's concerns.
It slows down vehicles when you have two-way traffic. It's safer when you have the two-way traffic in terms of slowing down and making it more of a neighborhood feel.
There are many problems facing drivers on Farnham, and members of the neighborhood have witnessed them for years. Neighborhood resident Jason Bazell says that drivers continuously speed through the neighborhood, making it dangerous for children.
One, just as a walker and stuff, I think when it is one way, the speed at which vehicles come down this hill and stuff, we're lucky to have a crosswalk here that I can push with the kids and stuff, but there's a couple others. I mean, in the mornings, people are in a hurry, and just the speed at which they go is one thing.
Speed isn't the only issue on Farnham. From Happy Hollow to Saddle Creek, drivers could go 3 to 5 blocks without seeing a one-way sign. Not only are the signs confusing, there is also a lack of them. From Saddle Creek to Happy Hollow, I was only able to locate 2 speed limit signs, and traffic lights indicating which lanes could be used are few and far between. For the Omaha News, I'm Avery Wink.
Anyone wanting to continue for the push to change is advised to email the mayor, Public Works, and sign the online petition on the Dundee Memorial Park Neighborhood Association's Facebook page. Driving down not only Farnham Street, but anywhere in town, you're bound to see a pothole somewhere. City crews say they're working as hard as they can to repair all the concrete chasms, starting with the major streets first. Right now, they're pouring a cold mix. That may see why you can see it break up fast when cars drive over it. Once the weather begins to warm up, they will start using hot asphalt to keep the holes from reappearing.
Up-and-coming districts in the Omaha area are becoming go-to destinations for shopping, dining, and urban living, but at what cost? One neighborhood is feeling the side effects of development. The Park Avenue neighborhood could be described as...
I like to say that it's the melting pot of Omaha. You have socioeconomic diversity, racial diversity, and just really cultural diversity in this neighborhood.
But Drew Pauly, the project coordinator at the nonprofit In Common, says the increase in development throughout the neighborhood is putting low-income families at risk.
Was it 3-4 houses roughly that had a group of Latino families in them, and the kids would play soccer with some of the neighbor kids as well from a white background as well. And so to see this piece was really cool. The houses are bulldozed and it's already having condos built on them.
And the lack of affordable housing isn't the only problem the neighborhood is facing. When Harvest Development moved into the Park Avenue neighborhood, it replaced a local laundromat, forcing residents to travel further to get one of their basic necessities met. Jeff Spies of Metro Area Planning Agency says it's difficult to get the numbers of those who are affected by displacement.
So you really only see it every 3 years when the American Community Survey is done. And then largely like every 10 years when a census data is updated. So you can track, but you're always behind it.
But a few years is too late for some families.
I can assume from past experiences that those condos will not be affordable to the family that was living there before.
If you're looking to get involved in the future of Omaha's neighborhoods, Metro Area Planning Agency will hold Heartland 2050 Winter Summit on February 24th. Coming up next, the political season is in full swing, and those in Iowa had the chance to voice their opinion, how Iowa caucus participants feel about their caucus experience, and why it's important to them.
Plus, the weather in Nebraska is nearly unpredictable. That's why we turn to the Metro weathercasters to give us the heads up. But exactly how hard is it to predict something ever-changing? You're watching the Omaha News.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world, to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures. The lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world. The growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city. Or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces. The history of one of its most impressive buildings. Or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO-TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Welcome back. Former and new voters dressed for the predicted snowstorm before meeting at a local high school to participate in the Iowa caucus. One meteorologist warned residents about the inclement weather that can potentially shut down the city.
New and former Iowa caucus goers met at Abraham Lincoln High School in Council Bluffs, Iowa, to submit the first unofficial vote for the presidency election before the predicted snowstorm. Director Terry of Precinct 10B and other caucus helpers directed participants to their designated areas to support their respective candidate.
Everybody has a job to do and is busy doing it, so that's a minimum amount of people. The booklet for doing these is, about 25, 30 pages. There's a fair amount of detail that has to be observed in protocols.
Caucus goers and residents of Iowa and Nebraska waited for the threatening weather to close school, shut down local businesses, and create dangerous roads. There was a surprising amount of participants given the dangerous weather, and over 50% were first-time caucus goers.
Just excited to see the numbers come out, and I don't know, I'd like to do it again, for sure.
Officials were left to collect data while voters rushed home to beat the snowstorm that was coming. Meteorologists warned residents to stay off the roads and stay home for safety precautions. Predictions of blizzard snow, icy streets, and over 8 inches of accumulation would take the vote. For the Omaha News, I am Paris Scott.
Residents are still on the lookout for more snow. Voters who participated in the New Hampshire primary experienced the same weather. Up next are South Carolina and Nevada primaries on Saturday, February 20th.
Much like the threat of severe weather the night of the Iowa caucus, voters planning on taking part in the New Hampshire primary face the same possibility. The National Weather Service predicted a total accumulation of around 5 to 8 inches overnight. That leaves the question if this will affect voter turnout for the primary. Political experts say voters who are more casually committed are more likely to stay home as opposed to those who are more politically passionate.
Weather forecasts are infamous for changing at the drop of a hat. Our reporter Alex Abler explores just how accurate or inaccurate weather reporting can be.
Omaha saw its first large snowfall this season almost a week ago. While this storm shut down most of Omaha, it wasn't the storm many predicted. David Paris, a UNO adjunct professor and former Air Force meteorologist, says that there are ways to make the weather more accurate.
We have many areas where it's just devoid of weather reporting stations. So as a result, the computer models are based on, they have to operate onto a grid. Having this intersperse of data or a lack of data really affects the bottom line of how the computers can manipulate and affect the material across.
Paris says the lack of meteorology stations across the nation, especially in the mountains, make it difficult to accurately predict the weather.
Fortunately, the computer models can't track the pressure systems in the mountains because we just don't have adequate reporting sites.
Tony Taylor, assistant athletic trainer, says that an accurate forecast can make the world of difference for him and his family.
The biggest thing I think is estimated amounts of snow.
If they predict more and we get less, it's actually a little easier, but knowing that I have to shovel before I head to work, or if that's going to change anything for work, definitely makes a difference for the day.
The Omaha Metro is supposed to get 12 inches of snow. Instead, we got between 5 and 6, and sometimes an accurate forecast can make all the difference.
Overall, David Paris says that he prefers making his own forecast and predicting everything by hand using science. He says it makes the world of a difference from what the computer-generated models can predict. For the Omaha News, I'm Alex Abler.
David Paris says that in the meteorology class he teaches, while hand predicting the weather, they haven't been wrong yet.
Robert Martins Marinero has pled guilty to the murders of his young half-brother and mother. The investigation into the murders began last May when a baby was found in a dumpster in La Vista, which turned out to be Roberto's abandoned baby brother. Roberto pleaded guilty to the murder charges in exchange for life in prison instead of facing the possibility of receiving the death penalty. That does it for this week's edition of the Omaha News. Make sure to check out our website to watch the Omaha News Extra.
This week, the Omaha News Extra will have stories on online dating in the Metro and how the Bennington community is coming together to raise money for their library. From all of us here, thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in next week.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders, a place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Watch the Omaha News Wednesdays at 4 p.m. on the Knowledge Network.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
What if there were a neighborhood where every child felt they belonged, and a big dog helped them stay little a little longer? A monkey helped them find the wonder in every little thing, and a flightless bird showed them the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?